Okay, good morning. Hi. Sorry, the dishwasher was on, but I feel like I was gonna have to yell, and I don't want to yell. It's barely 8 a.m. But today I'm going to see one of my best friends, who's also my hairstylist, to go get my hair washed and blow dried because I have pretty curly hair, but I love getting it blown out. And at the salon that he works at, they loved my baked goods, so I'm gonna surprise them today with some mini apple chai mini muffins. So right now we're preparing our apple. We need 50 grams of diced apples. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just get the skin off and then weigh it and get to the 50 grams, and then we can dice it. So you can see what I'm doing. Right now I'm just very gently trying to keep as much of the fruit. We're just taking our skin off our apple. And all that yummy skin can go to our security guard that's hanging out behind us. So now let's take some more skin off the apple. So yeah, today the plan is, I wanted to swim this morning too, but I don't know if I'm gonna have time. But I wanted to bake for my friends at the salon. If I have time, I'm gonna try to go swim a little bit before I go get my hair done. Then, what else do I need to do today? Oh, I have a labubu I'm rhinestoning for one of my friends that I need to finish. So I'll probably go live later and finish the labubu. And then, let's see. I think there's some other new recipes that I want to try. So I might do that this weekend. But I also kind of just want to relax a little bit. So I'm going to try to do a little bit of that too. Okay, so we have some pretty pieces of our apple. Nothing from the core, no skin. Let's see how close we are to 50 grams. So right here I have my digital scale. 22, 31, 41. So we're pretty close. So let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I bet half of this. 46. 49.5. Right. 52.2. I'll take it. I'll take a little bit more than a little bit less. And so our little security guard that's right behind us, she can have the little apple. Okay. And I'm gonna have some apple. Okay. So now that we have our 50 grams weighed out, we're going to go ahead and dice them. And since they're going into little muffins, we want to make them pretty small. And I've had my oven preheating, so I just wanted to check our temperature. And our temperature for this is 350. It's at 350, so that's perfect. Okay. So now we're just gonna dice our little apples. Oh, let's see, it's Saturday. I had a pretty good week. I live in Northern California. This year we barely had a summer. I was really hoping that we were gonna have a late summer in October. And it was a little bit, we had some nice days, but feels like we barely had a summer this year. And I think it was the coldest summer in San Francisco in a long time. So, here to tell you, yes, it was. But now that it starts to feel like fall is when I want to start cooking and baking with like fall flavors. So yesterday I got into soup mode, and so I made the first batch of the season, because I usually have like soup season, which is like from now till like January, February. And so I made my first batch of the season of Italian wedding soup. I make it in big batches and then I freeze it and save it. So this is one of the batches of Italian wedding soup that I made, and it's already frozen. So that's gonna be great. So like, you know, when I'm wanting some hearty food, but not wanting to put the effort in, all I have to do is defrost it. And from that serving, I get 2 meals out of that container. And so now is when I start also kind of like prepping like larger quantities of things that I can freeze if I can. But that's not what we're doing right now. Right now, we're making apple chai mini protein muffins. Okay, so we have our apple. Next, let me take some time to let's line our tin so that once our batter is ready to go, our tin is ready to go. So what we're doing is, with a 24 mini muffin, mini cupcake pan, and I use these mini size cupcake liners. And so one by one, we put them. So now the reason why I use these is because I'm taking these somewhere and I'm giving them out. If this was like a personal batch, I would use the silicone molds and then just pop them out and keep them. But since I'm sharing these, I want them to be nice and like have their little individual serving kind of like tins. So today we're using our mini cupcake liners. So one by one, we put them in, and thankfully all we have to do is just put the liners. We don't spray them with anything. We don't have to do anything. They just get popped into their little locations. So one by one. And also, hi, if you're new here, hi, I'm MeMeCherry. I like to go live and bake sometimes. Sometimes I work on my rhinestone projects. So like later today, I'll probably go live while I rhinestone a Labubu. I also, oh my gosh, I need to email the vendor. I have a costume, a Sabrina Carpenter costume that's being handmade, the corset and the little bottoms, in Panama by this amazing designer that did my custom look for my live show this summer. But I need to get it in my hands soon because I still have to rhinestone it. Like I have to cover it in rhinestones. So actually I need to remember today. I need to email the vendor like, hi, where's my outfit? Is it done yet? Okay, so our tin has its liners. Now we're going to measure out our dry ingredients. So let's get this knife out of the way. Out of the way. We have our digital scale, highly recommend it. And so we're gonna get our bowl. We need 80 grams of oat flour, 80 grams, wait, okay. We need 80 grams of oat flour. Hi. Hi, it's Danny. Okay, 80 grams. 74, 75, 79.7, 80.9. I'll take it. Close enough. Okay, 80.9. And now we need 60 of, let's even this out. And now we need 60 of the almond flour. So I'm gonna take a spoon. 15, 30, 46, 51, 55, 58, 60. Ooh, on the dot. Boom. I love it. Ooh. Oh, it really is the best feeling when you can get it on the dot. What am I making today? Okay, good morning. This morning, I'm gonna go see my bestie at the salon. I'm gonna go get my hair done. And every once in a while, I like surprising the salon with some baked goods. So I'm making, they're mini muffins. So they're apple chai mini protein muffins. They're really good, actually. So we are using oat flour, almond flour. Now we need to measure out some chia seeds, which is where some of our protein boost is coming from. So let's take this, even it out. We have our Whole Foods 365 chia seeds. Oh, I mean, you know, well, there's a few things at play. A, it keeps me busy. B, it helps me make content. C, I have this saying, I actually have it on a sticker. If you're part of my Patreon, you get stickers in the mail. And so I have this saying that I've been saying for the last few years, and I turned it into a sticker, that you have to feed the garden that you eat out of. And to me, that's like the best sense of, like, that's how community makes sense to me and how I can show up in community. And so I try to give to my community my gifts, my love, my talent, because they take care of me. And oh, I'm gonna start crying. My best friend, EJ, he's one of my best friends. EJ is my hairstylist, and then my drag mom, Celeste, are my besties. And Enrique has shown me such pure, true love as a best friend that I'm beyond grateful. And like any boyfriend that I have in the future has quite a bit cut out for them, because they have to give me just as much love, if not more, than my best friends give me. And I am so lucky and so blessed to have community that loves me and then shows up for me. Oh, I'm gonna start crying. So EJ is one of those, and the salon that he works at is super cute, and all the hairstylists there are so nice and so sweet. And so it's a Saturday, and I figured, you know, have something there for the stylists and for the people that come to the salon today. And it is also promotion. I mean, I am trying to, I know, right? I am in the process, very slowly. It's the ADHD of it all. I want to start a micro bakery. And so I feel like I'm still like in the exploratory phase, trying to figure out like who my clientele is, what my product is, what my market is. And so this is like market research too. You know what I mean? So anyways, it's not all purely altruistic, although I do have a giving heart. And, you know, gifts are my love language. And I mean, I do love getting gifts, but they're more my love language in terms of giving them. Like, I love giving gifts. So, you know, it's a chance to just be loving. And like, the world is so dark, and I try to be like a little bit of light and joy in the world. Okay, I swear I'm not crying. Okay, 15 grams. I'm a crybaby though. I cry at commercials and like movies and songs. Oh my God. Last year when I had my last big like heart-wrenching breakup, when my last, you know, long-term boyfriend Sammy broke up with me, it was right when Ariana Grande's Eternal Sunshine album came out, and oh my god, did I just walk around walking my dog, just spinning the block, playing that album from front to back, just crying out all my feelings. What are you gonna do for Halloween and Thanksgiving? Ooh, so for Halloween, well, for Halloween, I'm hoping my Sabrina Carpenter costume will get here in time. If not, I'm pretty, like, como se dice, I'm pretty creative, and I'll figure out something that I can throw together in terms of like a look. I mean, I guess, well, actually, my outfit from my live show, it's just that it's pink. It's just, I want, I custom ordered, you know, the short and sweet. So if you know the Sabrina Carpenter tour that she did last year, the short and sweet tour, she has a number where she comes out like in a towel, and then she opens it up and it's like a blinged out towel. So I'm trying to do a look like that, that's based on that. And so I'm getting a red corset being made, and like red little lace shorts being made by the same designer. Here, I'll pull it out of my closet. Or actually, it'll be easier. I'll just bring you. But in theory, I guess I can do, like, I still can do Sabrina. It just would be... So this is my outfit from my live show. And so I guess I could still, you know, it has the little kiss. So I can still be Sabrina in this. It's just that, like, I had the vision of the red. The red. I want the red. I want the red. So yeah, so that's the look. In terms of what am I doing, around Halloween, my drag mom is throwing a Gladys look-alike costume contest for a party. I am not dressing up as Gladys, but I am going to go to that event because I'm going to support my drag mom. But if you're in Oakland or in the Bay Area, and you win money, like there's, I think, I can't remember how much money, but there is like a money prize. And so we're doing a Gladys look-alike contest from, what's the movie? Oh, it's like one word. Anyways, one of these like scary movies that came out this year. And what else? Probably go out on the town, do a little something. And then Thanksgiving, okay, let me do two things at once. So I can measure and talk. So I'm gonna measure and talk. So I need 3 grams of baking powder. We need baking powder and baking soda. Okay, so for Thanksgiving, I have a couple things in mind. So first, there is, I love following animal social media accounts. And so there's this one account, Bao the Chi, who's a Chihuahua. And Bao the Chi's mom does these like incredible doggy Thanksgiving spreads. And so I think I want to make a Thanksgiving for my dog. So I might do a Bao the Chi inspired doggy Thanksgiving for Honey. So we might do that. And then, you know, I don't have a lot of, well, I really don't have any family close by. So I'm not sure what I'm going to actually do for Thanksgiving proper. I've been in California without family for so long that Thanksgiving over the years has either been like a mix of like, oh, spending time with like my friend's family, or like if I was dating somebody, I would be like at my boyfriend's house or whatever. But right now, like, I don't have any serious, there's no serious relationship right now in my world. My dog is my most serious relationship right now. You know, and like my friends, you know, most of them are with their families, right? And like, I don't know, I don't like to impose. To me, Thanksgiving is like a family day. And I have learned to enjoy the quiet of that day. I tend to like take advantage that like there's nobody in the pool. And so like I go in, like I swim. And like I go out for a walk because it's so quiet, and I just kind of like do all the cozy things. So this year I'll probably go live and like maybe cook Honey's Thanksgiving spread with you all. And yeah, we'll see. There was a few years ago, I had a friend a former YouTube collaborator who shall remain unnamed, because we're no longer friends or collaborators. But they came over one year for Thanksgiving, and that was fun. That was nice to like have somebody come visit. So yeah, we'll see. I do have some family. I'm just not really close to most of them. So like I'm not like going home for the holidays, if that makes sense. But I do go home to Puerto Rico for my birthday in January. And so that I'm really excited about. But yeah, Thanksgiving will be Thanksgiving. I'll make the best of it. I always do. Again, I kind of enjoy being alone sometimes on holidays. It can be like a nice like reflection time. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so back to our mission at hand. I'm getting in my feels. Okay, so we have our baking powder. We have our baking soda. Now, what are you gonna do for Thanksgiving? I'm Puerto Rican, yeah. Born and raised in La Isla del Encanto, aka the Island of Enchantment. And so that's the other thing. Growing up Puerto Rican, Thanksgiving, like, it does make me miss my mom. I will say that. And it is a bummer that I can't be with my mom. Maybe one of these days we can be together for Thanksgiving again, but not this year. But growing up Puerto Rican, Thanksgiving was one of those like one of my favorite parts of Thanksgiving is watching how different families celebrate it, especially multicultural families. I'm Latina, so basically my mom is from Honduras and dad is from Brazil. Oh, nice, very nice. Yes, I think I remember you telling me that. Yes. We're here together. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. And so what I do miss about Thanksgiving is like the Puerto Rican Thanksgiving that like, so like my mom would go all out and she would make, let's see, it's a quarter teaspoon. She would make a turkey, right? Like a full, Thanksgiving turkey. But then she would also make a pernil, which is like a very traditional Puerto Rican Christmas dish. It's pork rump or pork shoulder that's slow roasted. And then she would make mashed potatoes, but then she would also make tostones, which is my favorite thing, like my all-time favorite thing. I love tostones. Like that is comfort food for me. And then she would make, like a cheesecake, but then also a flan. And so it would be a giant spread, but B, I would get a little bit of like all the good things of everything. So like, a little turkey breast and a little pernil and some mashed potatoes and some tostones. And so that I do miss. I am going to miss that. But hopefully one of these days when I have my own family to feed, I can bring back those traditions of having it be a little bit of everything under the sun. But yeah, that's one of the things that I love about social media is around that time of year, you get to see like all the different multicultural approaches to Thanksgiving, which I think is one of the coolest parts. For as much as like, it also is a day that we should recognize that this land was stolen from indigenous people and all of that. Actually, you know what? No, duh. You just reminded me. I do have plans for Thanksgiving. Actually, so I have a friend, Mudda Two Spirit, who is on this channel, on my podcast twice. Please go check out those episodes. They're so good. And so Mud the Two Spirit is indigenous and they go to Alcatraz. Like just recently for Indigenous Peoples Day, aka Columbus Day, there's a ceremony that happens at Alcatraz to commemorate the occupation of Alcatraz Island by the indigenous people in the 1970s, and the same thing happens around Thanksgiving. And so I asked my friend if this year I could go with them to Alcatraz Island for the sunrise ceremony with the, oh, I'm getting like goosebumps. So actually I do have plans for Thanksgiving. I'm going to be with my friend on Alcatraz Island celebrating with the indigenous people a sunrise celebration, and I'm going to be so honored that, oh, it's going to be amazing. So those are my plans actually this year for Thanksgiving, because I asked for permission to join Mud the Two Spirit this year on Alcatraz Island for the sunrise event. So that'll be really amazing. So please go check out those episodes with Mud the Two Spirit on this channel, my podcast series of Fortune Events. They're amazing episodes. I'm so, so proud. Podcast. Okay, so ADHD. We have all of our dry, no, now we need to get our spices. So our spices are clove, ginger, cinnamon, cardamom, sorry, I'm going through my spices. Cardamom, cinnamon. Okay, perfect. So, and the mix is going to be half a teaspoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of cardamom, a quarter teaspoon of ginger, and a quarter teaspoon of clove. So we have our quarter and we have our half. So see, you're a neurospicy baddie. And actually, this Two Spirit is also a neurospicy baddie, and we talk about being neurospicy baddies together. So you should definitely check out that episode. I adore Mud. They're one of my favorite people in the local scene of performers. They're insanely talented, so, so sweet, such a generous person in community. They're also a hairstylist, and they give like community haircuts at a sliding scale for community. So I just adore me some Mud the Two Spirit. And if you're ever in the Bay Area and you want to see a performance, if you see Mud the Two Spirit on the bill, go, because you're gonna have a time in a good way. It's just incredible. Mud is just amazing. I know that Mud someday is gonna be like winning an Oscar or something, and I'm gonna get to say that they're my friend, and I'm gonna be so, so proud. So proud. Okay. Ooh. Our cinnamon's getting a little messy. Actually, who knows? We might be on the Oscar carpet together. They are on my short list of people. So I'm currently working. So this year, I decided to make my production company a proper company. So MeMeCherry Productions is an LLC as of this year. And I've been just exploring what I'm going to do with it. And so I've been continuing to do the podcast. I've been making, cooking content. When I travel, I like to make travel content. But I also want to help other people create content. And I just have big dreams, and I dream big. And, we're only as limited as our thoughts, really. Well, and our access to things, obviously. But you can create access for yourself if you have enough mind power and enough willpower. And so my new dream is I started ruminating this summer on the idea of a short film. And at first it was going to be dramatic to help me process my feelings that I still have left over from a 20-year friendship breakup. A few years ago, I had to just for once and for all, after many years of just a toxic friendship, I had to basically break up with my 20-year best friend. And I miss her sometimes, and I think about her, and I'm sure that she thinks about me because we had a very deep connected friendship for 20 years. But in my experience with her, and I can only speak to my experience, but in my experience with her, over time, I sadly realized that she is a compulsive liar, in my opinion. And over time, it just corroded trust. And we had an incident where unfortunately she got physical with me. And that was the last time that I saw her. And I haven't seen her since. And so I process feelings. I have big feelings. I have big ideas. And I figured instead of calling her up and trying to be friends with her again, how about I just make art and process my feelings? So that's what I'm doing. So at first, it started out as an idea for a dramatic, very like Almodovar style film, short film. But I then, a few weeks ago, was playing around with a different idea of a short horror film based on some silly adventures that have happened in the local drag scene. Because I have a lot of drag queen friends, and I do drag once in a while. And so I came up with this idea for a short horror film called Tucked, and I made a fake horror movie poster for it, and I made a fake trailer. And then after I posted all of that as like a meme, basically, I then realized that I actually want to do it as a film, as a short film. And so I pitched it to the person that inspired it. And they actually said yes. So I'm going to be next year working on, I also had a great friend, but it was a pretty bad relationship. And we had a breakup and I was so sad. And I still miss her. It's hard. It's really hard. Like, I've had to walk away from family because they were not good for me. Like, I don't talk to my biological father. Like, whenever he reaches out to me on some new platform, I just block him, which is sad. And so to me, once I got to the point that like I could say goodbye to my father, my own father, it was really easy to say goodbye to other people that were very toxic in my life, which was another thing I had to work through, because then I started to get scared that maybe I was walking away from things too fast. But over time, I've learned that no, there's also such a thing as boundaries, which I didn't know were like a thing until I met my drag mom. My drag mom taught me about boundaries, which I think is amazing. And now that I know about boundaries, I realize that that friendship that I'm mourning definitely did not have proper boundaries, which is how you end up with like a physical incident. And you also end up, you know, questioning your trust for this person because boundaries have been violated left and right. And anyways, when I came up with the idea for Tucked, which is the horror movie about the drag queen, I then was like, ooh, what if I take my friendship story and instead of a dramatic short film, I make it a horror film? And so I have an idea now. And I say all that to say that Mud the Two-Spirit, who I'm saying one of these days will probably be accepting an award somewhere, I pitched them to be a part of that project. So I have two projects going on. And so I'm hoping that Mud the Two-Spirit will be a part of the second project. And it's such a unique idea. I don't want to share it just yet. Like, Tucked is already out there. I put it out there kind of like as a joke. And nobody else is going to make that idea. It's a very specific idea. And nobody else is going to make that. But this one, it's unique. And I've pitched it to a few people and they're like, ooh, okay, Mimi. And so I'm going to keep that one a little bit closer to the chest. I'm going to finish fleshing out the script and I'm going to start shooting some content for it. And I have some friends. So yeah, so that's those very exciting things in the MeMeCherry universe. So subscribe if you haven't, and join the Patreon. There's also free levels. You don't have to pay to be a part of the Patreon, but I'll be sharing a lot of that production journey over on the Patreon. Yes, big brain, big head. I like to say I have a big head because I have a big brain. Okay. Oh my God, I gotta focus. Because time is getting away from me, and before I know it, I need to leave. Okay, so we have our 100 grams of Greek yogurt. We have our large egg. Actually, these eggs are for something else, but I'm not gonna get to it in time. So let's put those away for now. And then we need 60 grams of maple syrup. Okay, this is gonna get blended together. So let's put it in the same bowl. So we need 60 grams of maple syrup. One of these days I need to do like an ASMR, just quiet, quiet baking. Because I think it's the only way I can focus. 25 grams of olive oil. It's that ADD. It's that ADD. I get excited. Okay, 25 grams. Olive oil. Doing it in little bits because this I don't want to go over. This I'd rather have a little less than too much. 24.6. Let's count that as 25. Okay. Now, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I usually like to use vanilla paste, but it's expensive, child. So we're gonna use vanilla extract today. Hi. Hi, Fidelis. Nice to see you. Happy Saturday. Okay, so now we're gonna take our immersion blender, and we're gonna plug it in. We take our egg, put it in there. Beautiful. And so those are all of our wet ingredients for this recipe. Great, and we have our apples here. Okay, so now, sorry, I'm trying to clean up the space a little bit. A little less visual chaos, less brain chaos. Do you know what I mean? Let me clean this. Oh no, this is washing. That's not. Okay, sorry, ADHD. Okay, so now we blend. Blend. You want to get it nice and blended. Great. Great. So now, take this, put it away. Put it away so it's not in the way. Okay, and so now we're going to take our mixer. Yes, you can have some. Come to the Salon by Robert Lupo in about an hour and a half, because that's where I'll be giving these out. Okay, so we take our paddle. Well, first, let's scrape in our product. We're gonna make sure we scrape that bowl. Scrape that bowl. Scrape that bowl. Get all of that yummy goodness. Okay. See? Ta-da. We get all that out. Now we have our paddle. We're gonna mix this together. It's gonna come together very quickly. That's one thing about, hi. Today I'm making apple chai mini protein muffins. Yee. Okay, so look, came together very quick. So now, let's take our paddle, scrape it. So today we have a batter that's made out of oat flour, almond flour, chia, maple. That's our sweetness. There's actually no sugar. These are actually pretty good for you. For like a baked treat, these are definitely on the healthier side of some of the things that I make. Like the pound cake that I make, that's just pure, delicious indulgence. This, they're kind of good for you. So we have oat flour, almond flour, chia seeds, baking powder, baking soda, salt, a chai spice blend that I mixed together of cinnamon, cardamom, ground clove, and ground ginger. And then our wet mix has Greek yogurt, 1 egg, maple syrup, like I said, olive oil, vanilla extract, and now we're gonna add our finely diced Honeycrisp apples. Okay, boom. And if you've been with me before, you know that I like to clean them up a bit as I go, just because, you know, the neurospicy of it all, we get overwhelmed. I don't like to get overwhelmed, so I like to clean as I go so that I don't get overwhelmed, so that we can keep our mental health feeling nice and juicy and nice. Okay, so we have our apples and we're gonna take our little spatula and mix it. I'm hungry for muffins now. They are so good. Actually, so I had a little pop-up event. Oh yeah, so I baked earlier this week for a pop-up event that I had on Thursday, which was really cute. I went to downtown Oakland. I was one of the vendors at the Uptown Stroll, which was nice. I learned a lot. I definitely am gonna take time to design like a banner that I can just have that's like printed nice, that says, you know, what the project is about, and to have like the QR codes for like the mailing list and the QR code for the YouTube. Because what I did is I set up a little chair and a microphone and a camera, and I had treats, and I had a sign that said free treats, but it had asterisks, and it said in exchange for, and then it was either a secret or some gossip that you would tell me on camera, or they could sign up to the mailing list for the micro bakery that I'm building, or they could subscribe to my YouTube. But then people, you know, like they have to like look for it and stuff like that. So I need to have QR codes for the YouTube and a QR code for the mailing list. So I learned that. That was a very big learning. I had ordered, whoa, hey now. Sorry. My cake leveler just fell out and fell into my batter. I'm trying to find the cookie scoop. Oh, there we go. And so, yeah, so I had treats and people stopped, and they stopped to have the treats. And this was one of people's favorites, the little apple mini muffins. I got lots of good feedback on these. So they're definitely going to be part of the fall menu. That's another thing that I need to do, is I want to spend some time properly planning out 3 months worth of a rotating menu, because I want to have some items on the menu that are like hero items. So I have, for example, these like pistachio raspberry buns that everybody loves. And so like those would be a part of the permanent menu. But then like, for example, something like this, like an apple chai muffin, feels very fall coated, right? And so like I wouldn't be doing this in the spring necessarily. And then like when we get into December, for example, you know, coquito flavored things, because I'm from Puerto Rico and in December we have coquito. So I want to take the time to properly plan out 3 months worth of a weekly rotating menu. And then the other thing I need to do is I need to finish getting my permits. I took a food handling certification course, but the final exam wouldn't unlock for me. So I haven't taken the test, so I'm not certified yet, but I need a food handling certificate. And then I can apply for my permits through the city to have a proper cottage licensed mini bakery out of the kitchen. And then I already have the website, littlebatchcompany.com. Feel free to, oh, thank you, right? Oh, I love my apron. Feel free to sign up for the mailing list if you want to keep up with the adventures of the micro bakery as it gets built. And yeah. And so I want to integrate everything together into like it all becomes like a MeMeCherry multiverse. So the podcast meets the bakery. And so something like the Whisper Lounge pop-up allows me to meld the two worlds together. So people get to have some of my treats, but then they also get to step into the Whisper Lounge, which is an idea that I had as like a spin-off of my podcast. This batter is a little short. Came out a little not. I usually get a full 24 pan. And today I think I might have been very generous with my scoops, which is fine. Again, this is why practicing these recipes is important, because I want to be able to replicate A, the taste, but B, the yield. Because I think what I did last time was really conservative little scoops, and then I topped them off. And this time I figured, let's just go generous scoop, and now we don't have enough for the full 24 pan. But the muffins, the mini muffins, the last couple times, they were a little short. So I suspect by being this generous with our doling out of the batter, they'll be a little more plump. So we're gonna go with it. We're just gonna go with it. So we're gonna take the sign and we're gonna go with it. This is another experimental bake today. So let's take back our little tin foils that we're not using, right? Because we're not using them. Yeah, the batter the last couple times gave me enough for the full pan, but I also was scooping out like very baby scoops, and then I ended up with like a little bit left over, so then I went back and like topped them off. And now I was being kind of generous with my scoops. They weren't baby scoops, and so I only had enough for the 3 rows, but that's fine. It's not like this is a client order. So again, this is why I like making things more than once before A, I share the recipe, or B, I offer to make it for anybody, much less for money, because I want to be able to know that I can deliver what I'm promising. But it's okay. This is all experimental. So now we're going to put these in the oven. And thankfully they're a surprise. Like the people that they're going to don't know that they're going. I know, right? And that's the thing with baking and cooking and things like that, is that, especially cooking, like my mom always says that for her, see, this is how I know she's not neurospicy like me, because for her, recipes are suggestions, and for me, I'm like, no, we follow the recipe. The recipe is there for a reason. And so like when she cooks, you know, like you might really like a dish of hers and she'll be like, great, enjoy it, because it'll never be like this ever again. I threw it together. But me, I want to be able to replicate my dishes, especially something that I'm going to be putting on the menu for order. So yeah, so that's why I still haven't officially launched the micro bakery yet. A, I haven't fully nailed down my menu. B, I want to plan 3 months worth of a menu ahead of time. And C, figure out what my order days are, what my baking days are, what my delivery days are. Because the idea is that basically I'll preload the website every week. So like, let's say on Monday, from Monday to Wednesday, you can pre-order for that weekend, and you would get whatever you were ordering for that weekend. And then Thursday and Friday, I can do my shopping and baking. And then Saturday and Sunday would be like the days that people could pick up their orders or deliver, or I would deliver them if they're local enough. So yeah, that's kind of like the idea, but we'll see. We'll see. So yeah, ooh, timer, duh. That's been about a minute. We need 13 more minutes. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I have just enough time to clean up, walk the dog, go to the ATM, and then get to the salon. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the live for now, just so that I can focus, because if not, I'm just gonna be too distracted. But thanks for hanging out with me. I'll probably be back live later today to rhinestone a Labubu. So if you wanna hang out with me while I do some rhinestoning and chatting. Oh, I also need to edit the podcast. So I need to do that too. I need to edit the podcast. Okay, have a great day at work. Yeah, bye. Well, this is time to say goodbye. So have a wonderful day, everybody. Hopefully I'll see you around. And if this is the last time I see you, I hope you have a great life. I hope to see you soon. Bye.